Hey guys, it is me, the Emerald Sword, and welcome back to another video where today I will be reviewing a book for you guys. But it's not a Stephen King. I know, that's weird, isn't it? But the book I have for you today is Dune by Frank Herbert. The classic itself, Frank Herbert's classic novel. So basically what really inspired me to read Dune in the first place is that I saw the newer Timothée Chalamet movies, and I did not understand them at all. So I thought, what better way to understand a series I don't know if I read the book than reading the book. So I decided to read the book, and I'm going to talk about that. So for anyone who doesn't know, Dune follows the boy Paul Atreides, and he lives on this Earth-like planet called Caladan. It has like oceans, it has grass. It's an Earth substitute in the future. And so basically his parents are like powerful. His father's a duke, and then his mother is like, her name is Lady Jessica. She's like a concubine, I guess. Whatever that means. I'm guessing it means like the female partner of a duke, I guess, without marriage. But anyway, so they find out about this planet called Arrakis, and Arrakis is like this desert planet. And so Duke Leto, Paul's father, decides to move there for some sort of like political power move. And so they move to Arrakis, and they're like, wow, there's a lot of sand. So literally the first half of the book is just them like getting acquainted to Arrakis, like all this political stuff, and then there's like these things called the sandworms, which cause problems, so they got to save some people. And then that's generally what the first half of the book is like. And then towards the end of the first half, their house gets like attacked by the Harkonnens, which are like these evil bad guys. But the Fremens are like the natives of Arrakis, and they're pretty cool. But we'll get to them in a second. So anyway, while the Harkonnens are like killing stuff and stuff, Leto tries to take out the Baron, but he ends up taking out himself, but a couple of the Baron's men with him. So it's not a complete loss. So meanwhile, Paul and Jessica manage to escape, and they just hide out in the desert for a couple of days, and then they meet the Fremen, who, as I said, are the native tribes of Arrakis. And then over the next 3 years, yes, the second half of this book takes place over the next 3 years, they just kind of, start meeting the Fremen, and then Paul becomes Muad'Dib, and he bests people in battle. But Paul and his mother know this thing called the Weirding Ways, which is like their fighting customs that the Fremen don't know about. So then they're training the Fremen in their Weirding Ways, and then yeah, so all that stuff happens. And then in the final fight of the book, you could say the Harkonnens are coming to Arrakis again, well, with like every major house in the universe, and they're all coming against Arrakis. So Paul leads the charge against him, but throughout the book, we keep seeing, like, these books, I guess, written by the Princess of Rulon, who's, like, the Emperor's daughter or something. And so at the end of the book, Paul's like, I want to marry her. I want to marry her. But isn't he married to Zendaya? Yes, he is. But also probably not married to her. I don't know if she had his child. But anyway, he sees the first look at the princess, and he's like, I want to marry her. I want to become emperor. And so, Feyd-Rautha, who's like his cousin, oh yeah, Paul's Harkonnen, by the way. I forgot to mention that, but there you go, Paul's Harkonnen. Anyway, Feyd-Rautha's like, I'm going to challenge you, and so they're both like, all right, let's do this. So then they have a brief fight, and then Paul kills Feyd-Rautha. And then in the final pages of the book, Paul becomes emperor, supposedly marries Princess of Rulon. The book kind of ends too suddenly for that, and then it just ends. It ends really suddenly. And I don't really understand what's going on, but I really enjoyed the book. It has a lot of like religious stuff and a lot of political stuff and all that stuff I don't really understand and don't really want to get into. But anyway, Dune is a really, really weird book that really, really confused me, but I can't help but like it. It is an odd book. I was kind of forced into it because of my own unknowingness of the movies. So I just wanted to understand what the movies were trying to tell me. And yeah, the best thing with a message I can come up with is environmentalism, I guess. Because I've already told you that Arrakis is a desert planet. Water is a sign of wealth. If you have the most water, you're the wealthiest person on Arrakis. So the best I can say is that Arrakis is sort of like what Earth would look like in the future if we don't get our environmentalism together. So yeah, if you're looking for a message of Dune, it's environmentalism, I guess. But as I said, I enjoyed the book more than I thought I would. I don't know, I was expecting to like it in the first place, but I really enjoyed this one. I did not expect to really enjoy it. I just expected to like, oh yeah, okay, so I see what the movies were doing there. But yeah, I really enjoyed reading this book. Yeah, also, I usually follow along with audiobooks, like you've seen with my Stephen Kings. I think I've mentioned audiobooks quite a few times. But Dune, I didn't read an audiobook at all. I was not going to pay $35 for 21 hours of content for Dune. So I read this like myself. I read this whole thing with my own mind, and it was weird because I don't normally do that. I'm trying to retrain myself to be able to do that. So that was a good first step, I guess. But yeah, so anyway, those are my thoughts on Dune. If you guys have read the book or just seen the movies like I previously have, let me know what you think about them if you do choose so. Anyway, be sure to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And yeah, that about wraps up our video. Anyway, I've been Ben from the Emerald Sword, and I will see you guys next time.